Hey everybody, welcome. Hope you're having an awesome day. I am excited for our webinar here today. I'm excited to be giving you a sneak peek into our Get Social Smart Mastermind. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. So welcome. As you guys are joining on in, comment in the chat, say hi, let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me know I'm coming in loud and clear. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I am excited. I am drinking my coffee, been well caffeinated this morning about my new Wonder Woman mug, which I shared this morning in my Instagram story, if you've been following. So fired up, and I'm excited. We're going to have a great day today. Welcome. I can see a lot of you joining, which is awesome. So like I said, as you are joining in, comment in the chat, say hi. Let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me know my sound's coming through loud and clear. Let me know where you're tuning in from, all that good stuff. And I know some of you are on coffee time. Some of you might be on lunchtime. So wherever you are tuning in the world, welcome. Whether you got your coffee or water or some other beverage. All right, let's see who's here with us today. Welcome. Hey, Tangi, good to see you. Welcome. She is with ERA. Awesome. Good to see you, Indiana. Hey, Christine, my dear friend, coming from Boston. Oh, thank you, my friend. Hey, Beth, good to see you from Maryland. Awesome. Selena is in the house coming in from Houston. Colleen is here from sunny Omaha. Love it. Love Omaha. Awesome. Welcome. Who else we have here? Cindy is here from Livonia, Michigan. Awesome. We've got folks from all corners of the US. I'm sure we've got some international folks as well, which is interesting because when I think about our mastermind, which we're talking about today, I love that we always have folks from just about every corner of North America, which is exciting. I know, I love that. Yes, exactly. So we are going to go for about 60 minutes today. This is being recorded, so if you have to leave early or if you miss something, don't worry, everything's being recorded. This is also held Zoom webinar style, which means you are not on camera and you are muted, so you can sit back and relax. But I would encourage you with our time here together today, if you have questions about what we're talking about, feel free to put it in the chat. You can use the Q&A. Feel free to grab a pen and piece of paper and take some notes as well. This is going to be a little bit of a different webinar because a lot of the webinars that you've probably attended from me, often, we're teaching social media tips or AI tips. But this is really kind of taking you behind the scenes into a very special event that we host each and every year. And so the goal of today is to really give you kind of the behind the scenes tour of what this event is all about, how it came to be, and what you can think about in terms of what the event is going to be coming up in November. So if this is something that you've attended before or you've already signed up, awesome. If you've already signed up, we've already had a number of folks who've signed up, awesome. So those of you who've already signed up, fantastic. I know you're excited to be here and get the inside scoop on speakers and dinners and all the fun stuff and topics. And if you're someone who's come before and you're wondering, well, what's new? What's the same? You're in the right place. Or maybe you're just someone who's like, well, I'm curious. I've heard Katie talk about this. I don't know what it is all about. So if you fall into any one of those buckets, you are in the right place. Hey, Tamara, my dear friend, good to see you. Alexandria, Virginia, in the house. Welcome. I think I'm connected to all of you on socials. I'm at Katie Lance, basically everyone on social. So if you have questions, again, put them in the chat. You can also follow me on social, send me a DM, or reach out to me via email. And we're good to go. All right. Hey, Susan, good to see you. It's her. She is signed up. I know. I'm looking forward to having you at your second mastermind also. Susan joined us not last year, but the year before. And she's coming back this year. Susan also is a graduate of our coaching program. She's been a longtime member of our academy, which is awesome. So I'm excited to have you back, my friend. You're officially an alumni, which is awesome. All right, so let's dig in. I want to kind of first and start with a little bit of the backstory. I think I'm connected to just about all of you on social media, but for those of you who don't know, I work side by side with my husband, Paul. So we've been in business together about 12 years, partners in life, partners in business. We've been married more than 20 years. We have 2 teenage boys who keep us very busy. By the way, our last day of school is tomorrow. So there's a lot happening in the Lance household, which is exciting. So we work side by side. And, we started brainstorming many, many years ago about doing some sort of event. And, what's interesting is there's, well, I don't know if it's interesting, but as you guys know, if you've been in real estate a long time, there's no shortage of real estate events, right? And let me know in the chat how long you've been in real estate. Just give me a quick number in the chat if you know off the top of your head, how long have you been in real estate? 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40. Whenever I ask this question, a lot of folks know exactly how long they've been in real estate. For me, I have been serving the real estate industry. This year will be my 20th year serving the real estate industry in a marketing capacity. And it's crazy. I keep saying, oh, I've been doing this for about a decade. No, I've been doing this for like 2 decades. So time flies when you're having fun, right? And so I just asked that because if you've been in this business a long time, Susan says it's her 25th year. Colleen says 40 years. Oh my goodness, Pat, 50 years. Okay. Massive high fives to you, Pat and Colleen. And really, honestly, anybody, whether you've been in the business a few months, a few years, a few decades, you have probably been to your fair share of real estate events. I always jokingly say there is no shortage of real estate events, right? Like your office has events, your franchise, your association, basically every tech company, right? And so we were like, well, how can we do something that's a little bit different? And so we brainstormed and said, we wanted to create something small and meaningful, something more personal, something more transformative, something where you can't hide in the back of the room because you're lost in a sea of people. It's more hands-on and ultimately more actionable. Because I don't know about you, I know I've gone to plenty of conferences over the years where I come home and I've got a stack of notes, I'm fired up, and then life happens, right? And then it's like back to business as usual. And so we wanted to create something that was a little bit different. We also wanted to create something that is sponsor free. And this is actually a pretty big deal if you've been to any real estate conferences. Generally, every conference you go to, somebody is pitching something, right? And I get it. It's just the nature of the beast. If you've ever been in the event industry, like that's just part of the revenue structure for a lot of events is sponsorships. But for this particular event, our private mastermind, we don't have sponsors. So there's nobody in the back of the room pitching you. We even have a strict no selling policy at the mastermind, meaning I'm not selling you at the mastermind. You're not going to hear a, hey, by the way, big pitch at the end of our mastermind. We ask our speakers not to pitch or to sell. Really, the goal is to be as helpful as possible and to provide that transformative experience. And so going into this mastermind, which we only host once a year in November, we are going into our 7th time hosting this event. So our dream became a reality in 2018. We hosted our first couple events locally. We live in the San Francisco Bay Area. So we hosted a couple of our first, I think 2 were here locally. And then we made the decision to move our event to Vegas for a lot of reasons. Vegas is convenient for so many people. We have folks who come to our mastermind from, I said at the beginning, kind of jokingly, they come from all over the world. We have folks who come from Canada, from Hawaii, Florida, Boston, the Midwest, Southern California. And so Vegas for a lot of folks is really easy. And nowadays, with how travel can be a little stressful, we wanted to make it as easy as possible. Not only that, but the dining is like world-class dining, world-class event experience. So it's been amazing for us. And we've worked with a number of different establishments over the years as we've taken our event on the road to Vegas. So I'm excited. I really feel like our event in 2025 is going to be bigger and better than ever. I'm just looking at the chat here. Tamara says 28 years. Sherry says 19 years. Cindy says 37 years. All fun. I love that. And you know what I love so much about real estate? You guys have heard me say this before. Like, I love the entrepreneurial spirit of a real estate agent. You guys work harder than, I don't know, just about anyone I've ever met or worked with. And people ask me all the time, like, why real estate? Why did you get involved in working with real estate? And honestly, I kind of fell into it. I started working as a marketing director, marketing manager 20 years ago for a small real estate company here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I was the gal that would help you with your flyers. I was the gal that would help you put your ad in the Sunday newspaper. And I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, these agents work so freaking hard for what they do. And that has carried me throughout my career. From working at that real estate brokerage, I worked for Inman News for many, many years, as a lot of you know, and then got that entrepreneurial bug. And I think I've always just had a big heart for how can I help agents and brokers navigate social media and technology. And I would also say too, and if you're in the academy, you've heard me say this before. By the way, if you're in the academy, let me know in the chat. Just say, hi, I'm in the academy, or yes, I'm in the academy. Some of you are in the academy. If you're not, it's all good. But if you're in the academy, let me know in the chat, because one of the things I often say to our academy family is I really feel like it's my job, my duty to navigate all the changes that are out there, because you could get just sucked into every new app, every new widget, every new technology, every new AI tool, and then not spend a moment on your business. And so one of the things I've always prided myself on is like weeding through all of that. And so I hope that, by the time I teach something, there's a reason why I'm teaching it, right? I see it as a huge value, whether I'm teaching AI or content strategy or whatever it might be. I see it as a huge value. And I also think, especially nowadays, with what's happening with social media, as I've often said, social media is rented ground. Social media is rented ground. We don't own it. And so I'm a big believer in teaching processes and systems. And we've done this for years in the academy, and now doing this in our mastermind as well, to really help you navigate all of that. And I would say there's nothing like being in person, right? Like, this is awesome. Zoom is amazing. I think we can all agree, like, the technology is amazing to be able to do this, but there's also nothing like real life. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I just feel like there's nothing like sitting down with someone, having a glass of wine, having a cup of coffee, having a meal. Like, that is one of the cool things that you can't experience often when you're online. A lot of folks in the academy. Cindy said, you just joined 2 weeks ago. Yay, Sherry, Selena. You guys are awesome. Yay, Helen. Helen's one of our alumni. Helen is from Delaware, came to our mastermind last year. Helen, it's so good to see you. Welcome. Colleen says, I've been in the academy for years, but not really involved. This is going to be the year, Colleen. This is the year. Hey, Lisa. Lisa's one of our longtime alumni. Lisa's coming to us from Atlanta. Good to see you, my friend. Lisa has been to our mastermind many, many times. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. I think she's also side by side with one of our other alumni, Eileen Lacert. Eileen is from Kona, the beautiful Big Island in Hawaii. And I think it's her birthday today too. So happy birthday, Eileen. If you are tuning in, she's a longtime academy member also. Tamara, awesome. Yeah, oh, she's on the way to see Eileen. Awesome. Well, tell her I said hi. We're sending love. We're sending love. So, like I said, this is our 7th one coming up in November. And, as I look back at some past masterminds, it just brings such a smile to my face. Like I said, we started our mastermind here in the Bay Area. We had a couple small little masterminds, and then we kind of grew it over the years. We still keep it small. We've always kept it to 15 to 20 people max. And I think there's something really magical about keeping it in that small range. And oftentimes it's anywhere between 10 and 20 people, to be honest, just depending on the year. But you can see here a few pictures from our early masterminds. And I look at some of the comments here on the screen. These are people who have come to our mastermind who are now honestly really dear friends. I look at Amy Izzo, Nora Lynch, Robin Burdett, Betty Russo, Eileen, who I just mentioned, Ruth Albrand. These are folks who have come year after year, and I have gotten to know over the years. And it's been amazing to see how their business has transformed. Because the reality is, any kind of transformation, it doesn't happen from one video. It doesn't even happen from one event. It happens over the course of time, putting those right building blocks into place, right? Which is what it's all about. Ruth, yes, there's another Ruth. Ruth, you're in the right place. There's multiple Ruths in our academy. I love that. Here's some other pictures just from the last few years of just various groups from our mastermind. And I picked this quote in the upper right-hand corner from Lisa Eskew, who's been to our mastermind a couple times. She's one of our alumni. She's out in Texas. And I love this quote. She commented this shortly after attending one of our masterminds. She says, there's no vulnerability without risk. There's no community without vulnerability. There can be no peace and no life without community. Emma Scott Peck. So fortunate to have found this community. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about our mastermind is the community that's formed. And because of that, we actually have a really exciting special announcement to make at the end. So stay tuned towards the end, because we have something really cool to talk about in terms of community. But I think community is where it's at. I look in the chat, like I said, my dear friend Lisa Harris, who's been one of our masterminders, who's come year after years. I know she connected with Eileen Lacert out in Kona. They've been able to refer business and really have a great friendship, but also working relationship. And I look here at all these wonderful faces who I know not only have made amazing connections, learned from me, transformed their business, but also made some pretty amazing referral connections from like-minded folks all across the world, which is really, really kind of cool. Um, Annie, my dear friend, good to see you from sunny Temecula. I know Annie's multitasking with her granddaughter, so thank you for being with us today. Annie is one of our alumni. She came to her first mastermind last year. She's out in Temecula and she's coming back again this year. We can't wait to see you, Annie. And it's been really cool, Annie, to see your transformation and how you've been showing up in your stories, how you've been showing up in reels, and, doing it on your terms. And I think that's a big thing that we teach. We have a formula, as you guys know, if you've been in our academy or you follow me on social media, there's certain things that we teach over and over again, but I don't want people to just become robots. I want you to become the best version of yourself, and being able to look at all the different options and saying, what, I can do this, or this makes sense for me. This makes sense for how I want to run my business, which is what it's all about. So I wanted to just share, before I get into the nuts and bolts of the event, I wanted to share this quote. This is actually a short poem that some of you may have seen before. And this is something you might even want to take a picture of and just for yourself, or post on social media if you want. But the elephant in the room is that for a lot of folks right now, the market is a little crazy for a lot of folks. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. There's just angst in terms of the economy and the market and just a lot of things. And so I wanted to just share this because I think this is such a powerful reminder of not quitting. And when I look at the folks that we've had the opportunity to work with and the folks that we want to continue to work with, the common denominator is they have the tenacity. They're like, you know what? When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, we're going to push through. And so this is the poem right here. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when funds are low and the debts are high, when you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, that the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late, when the night slipped down, how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. And again, I just share this with you. Some of you have seen this before. If you've ever seen this poem before, let me know in the chat if you read this before. This was originally published back in 1921, basically 100 years ago. And it just, again, reminds me of the times that we're in right now. There's a lot of angst for a lot of people, a lot of, sort of nervousness in terms of the market. But that is absolutely the opportunity to dig in and to focus on what you can control. And what you can control is how you show up in the world, how you show up in your business, how you show up for your clients. And we're just excited to be able to have something like our mastermind where we can take you by the hand and go, okay, let's do it with you. Let's do it in person, which is so fun. Andy says it's the best. Learning from you and being individual, my social media is one of the favorite things about how you teach. Oh, thank you for saying that. And Annie, you and I have had a lot of conversation over the years about like what you're comfortable doing and sort of like boundaries and like work-life balance. And I think you're such a great example of showing up as yourself, but also having things that are private, which is how it should be. I love that. Love it, from Detroit. Yay, that's right. Celine says, that's right. How do we show up every day? Yeah, how do you show up every day? And consistency wins, right? I know that's cliche, but it really does. Like, consistency wins over the course of time, right? That is the name of the game. So let's get into the details of the event, because I have some exciting things to share with you guys. Okay, by the way, if you just joined a little bit late, it's all good. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to comment in the chat, say hi, so we can give you a shout out. Okay, so the dates are November 17th, 18th, and 19th, which kind of feels like it's a ways away, but honestly, it'll be here before you know it. I don't know about you, but I can't believe June is right around the corner. We are at the halfway mark of the year, which is kind of crazy. And I'm also going to drop in the link a link to the mastermind landing page, so you can check that out. We email this to you guys, but this has recently been updated, so you don't necessarily have to read it right now, but if you want to click on it and have it, I'll pull it up in just a minute too, but I just want to make sure I share that with you guys too. That'll give you some information in just a little bit. Okay, so 17th, 18th, and 19th. And So let's go through a little bit of the agenda, and then we're going to go through kind of in detail what we cover each day. And we're going to announce speakers, and then I've got a really cool like announcement at the end, which I'm excited about. So as far as the structure goes, we kick off on Monday, November 18th, in Las Vegas, and we have an awesome welcome reception hosted by me and my hubby, Paul Lance. And it's funny because I find that a lot of people are like, who's Paul? Like the man behind the scenes. And I have to say, I have to give him a shout out. I don't know if he's tuning in today, but he's probably working because there's a lot happening behind the scenes. Paul, it does all the stuff behind the scenes that, quite frankly, I don't want to do. All the business part of the business, right? The money part, the invoicing part, the contracts part. And he does a really wonderful job of negotiating some amazing things that you will see in Vegas. So big shout out to him. So we'll talk about the welcome reception in a minute. That's always fun. That's just a time to like meet everybody, hugs, high fives. There's heavy hors d'oeuvres. Drinks, whatever your poison is. And it's just a super fun way to kick it off. And then we go November 19th and 20th. So these are 2 full days. We go 8 to 5 for our mastermind, and we have a beautiful room at the Bellagio. It's kind of a small ballroom, so we can really spread out. We actually have 2 big spaces, one to do all of our work in and one for all the amazing food. Let me just say, you're not going to go hungry. And anyone who has been at the mastermind before, I'm just looking at the chat, Annie and Lisa and Susan and Christine, those of you who are alumni, you can probably attest to the fact that there's no shortage of food. So we host this at the beautiful Bellagio. Let me know in the chat if you've been to the Bellagio or not. Just let me know yes or no if you've been to the Bellagio, or if you've been to Vegas. I'm sure a lot of you have been to Vegas, but let me know if you haven't been to Vegas yet. If you have not been to Vegas yet, the Bellagio is beautiful. It is by far one of my favorite resorts. The service and the food and just everything is always an impeccable experience. Lots of yes and yeses. Yes, the Bellagio is gorgeous. And inside the Bellagio, by the way, they have this beautiful atrium that they change out seasonally. I just was following them over on Instagram, and it's incredible. They do this huge transformation. It takes them about 6 days. I believe it's once a quarter that they change it out. It's absolutely incredible. Yes, it's so beautiful. Christmas. Last year when we were there was the same time. So they had all their Christmas and holiday decor out, and it was stunning, absolutely stunning. So this was 20 years ago. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no shortage of food. No shortage. The food is outstanding and plenty. It really is. One of the reasons we are having it back at the Bellagio, we hosted it last year at the Bellagio also, is just the many reasons, but the experience and just specifically the food also is amazing. So we bring in a beautiful catered breakfast and lunch every day. And then on the 19th, we have a really special dinner, which I'm going to share more about that in just a second. That's on Monday. On the 20th, same thing, full working mastermind days. And again, we're going to go through the information in terms of topics and speakers in just a minute. And then we have a very special closing party, brand new location this year. I can't wait to announce it. I'm excited. Get social smart. Yes, Carolyn, that's what it's all about. Ruth says, I stayed at a different hotel for our honeymoon and tried to sneak in and use the pool, but it was a no-go. Oh, darn it. They do have an amazing pool. Okay, so I am excited. Let me be the first to announce some big things. First off, we want to officially welcome our featured speakers for the year. We are super excited about this. First off, you're going to spend a lot of time with me. So if you've ever wanted to just spend time with me, have dinner with me, pick my brain, get consulting time with me, ask me specifically like, Katie, how do I do this on my phone? Katie, how do I do this in my market? Like, you're going to get that one-on-one time from me. And also you're going to hear from me as I walk you through how to map out your 12-month content plan. This is a huge thing that we talk about at the mastermind, how to map out your 2026 content plan. That's really my expertise is strategy. We're going to do some really fun things in terms of video content, repurposing, some cool things with just some of the tools that we're using, very hands-on, which I'm super excited about. And then I am very thrilled to announce we have 2 amazing featured speakers. So we are bringing back my dear friend, Christine George. Christine is a mastermind alumni. She attended her first mastermind many years ago. She was one of our first attendees. She's one of our first Academy members back in the day. And Christine, her role has expanded just over the years. She now runs her own amazing marketing agency called Post and Beam Creative. She comes to us outside of Boston, and she was one of our featured speakers last year. And when I look at the survey results, one of the things people love the most was their time with Christine. So I'm super excited to have her come back and talk about a completely new topic. We're going to talk about just a completely new topic, and we're going to dig into some of those things here in just a minute. Christine has a really fabulous way of helping folks with their branding, with their business planning, with their goal setting, with their email marketing, and so many other things. So excited to be bringing Christine back. She was a fan favorite, and she graciously said yes when we reached out and invited her. And then secondly, Marguerite Martin. So I've known Marguerite for quite some time. Marguerite is amazing. She is a real estate professional based in Tacoma, Washington. And Marguerite has such a unique business. So Marguerite wears a number of different hats, and she's actually traveling internationally right now. So I doubt she's on live with us because it's like the middle of the night where she is. But she runs an amazing business. She runs her real estate business is 100% referrals, which is pretty incredible. So she runs a really amazing business where her real estate business is really 100% referrals. And she's done that through her move to Tacoma website. She is really a master at content that converts. So we're going to talk a lot about that, which is pretty incredible. She also is a speaker and a coach. She did a ton of training last year in the UK, really honing into her coaching profession. And one of the things Marguerite is really fantastic at talking about is not just social media and branding, but even the bigger picture of what do we want our life to look like? And this is actually a new thing that we're going to be integrating into this year's mastermind of not just social media and marketing, but what do we want our life to look like in the next year, 2 years, and even up to 5 years? And I'm really excited about this conversation because I am a big believer. You guys have heard me say this before. None of us got into business for ourselves to work 1,000,000 hours a week or 80 hours a week or whatever it is. We all say, oh, I want that freedom and flexibility. But then we go on vacation. We're like taking our laptops. Like we want to have that balance. I don't know if balance is actually achievable, but we want to have those boundaries, and we want to be doing what we want to be doing. We want to work with who we want to work with. So I'm excited to have Marguerite come in, and she's going to be doing a couple really great talks and facilitating that conversation. And I have to say, with all of our speakers, one of the things that I always look for is not just someone who's going to come up and talk, but someone who's really going to get you involved. And there's some really cool activities we have planned. I think one of the things I love so much about our mastermind is that part of our mastermind is you learning from our speakers and each other, but also from you doing the work, right? Like I said, there's nothing worse than going to an event, taking 8 million notes, going home and like implementing nothing. We want you to implement. We want you to show up and create video while you're there. We want you to open up your laptop, open up your workbook, and create your 6 to 12 month social media content, marketing, and business plan while you're there. So the idea is to take time to work on your business, because I don't know about you, I find that I'm so busy in the day-to-day working in the business. We don't always have time to work on the business, right? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Or do any of you ever feel that way? Like you're just so busy with life and school's ending and graduation and and you've got all this stuff coming up. It's like, you don't even have time to like take a step back and go like, wait a minute, like, where do I want to be? Right. And so that's the space that we really provide for you at the mastermind. One of the reasons we have alumni come back year after year, a lot of them have told me, look, I know I could probably carve out the time at home to get done what we do at the mastermind, but there's a huge value in being in the room where it happens, right? And being in that room with other like-minded people where I'm saying, hey, put your out of office on, let's get this done, right? A little bit of tough love. And just look at the chat because I saw a couple of questions come through. Yay, I know, Marguerite, I'm so excited. Tamara, I know you've heard her speak. Marguerite's awesome. And he says, Christine is amazing. Yay. And Christine is in our chat today. Thank you for being with us, friend. I so appreciate it. I know you're so busy with clients and all of everything that you've got. So I appreciate you so much tuning in today. Marguerite is wicked cool. She is super smart, super interesting. Yeah, very excited. She's fantastic. You guys will love her. Carolyn, yes, the room where it happens. Yep, the room where I won't sing. The room where it happens. Yes. I was so excited to walk away with my 2025 plan when I was at the mastermind. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And that's really one of the biggest takeaways from coming to the mastermind is to be able to go to walk away. And I just want you to imagine that. Imagine fast forward in your brain, right? Right now we are at the beginning of summer. Okay. So like, let's push pause on that, but just fast forward to we get through summer, then we have the fall, then we go back to school. Then we have like, the weather starts to change. And then, the holidays are starting to come up. And then it's like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the year. And I got to start thinking about next year. Imagine taking like 2.5 days where you just crank out your whole plan and you go home, and Thanksgiving, if you're in the US, Thanksgiving is the next week. And you're like, I'm ready. I am ready for the new year. Right now, I can finish out the year strong with my clients. I can spend time with my family, do what I need to do, in terms of holidays. There's just like a huge sigh of relief. It's kind of like when I teach in the academy, this idea of batching content. You guys have heard me talk about this, where I preach this idea of like, hey, set aside a day once or twice a month where you record a lot of content, get content in the can. It's that same feeling when you leave going, oh my gosh, I got so much done, right? Like I am good to go. It's just a really, really awesome feeling. So let's go through kind of the sort of the nuts and bolts of the event. We talked about the speakers. We talked a little bit about what happens, but I wanted to announce some of our locations, some of the fun stuff, and then I'm going to give a breakdown of each day. So we are hosting our welcome reception. We are coming back to the place we hosted it last year. So if you came to our mastermind last year, you came to the beer park, which is amazing. Paul found this. My husband found this. It's actually right across the street from the Bellagio. You literally walk across the street, and right across the street from the Bellagio is Paris. And when you're standing at Paris, you can look back and see the fountains, right? Have you ever seen the fountains at Bellagio? It's my favorite thing. If you haven't seen it, watch Ocean's 11 and you'll see the Bellagio in the movie. But the beer park is awesome. There's this beautiful patio. And I love whenever I can in Vegas to get some outdoor space, because it's really easy to be in Vegas and be indoors the whole time. And there's a lot of recycled air. So it's good to get outside, get some fresh air, mingle. It's a really beautiful private space that they give us. So super excited. Yummy food, great service, yummy treats. So fun. Yeah, amazing views of the strip. So if you want to come, take pictures, great for content, of course, to take some pictures for sure. So that's our welcome reception. A lot of folks, if you are on the West Coast, you can certainly fly in on that Monday, and that's fine. And by the way, with the Bellagio, we do have a special room block. Another shout out to Paul, because he always gets an amazing deal at the Bellagio, which if you've ever gone online to try to book a room at the Bellagio, especially in peak season, it's kind of ridiculously expensive. So we have a room block, which is of course very important. So if you're on the West Coast, you can fly in that day if you like. If you are East Coast, or if you're in Hawaii, a lot of folks will fly in the Sunday before to get some rest, kind of acclimate to the time change. Totally up to you. If you do want to fly in early, just let us know and we can let you know what the link is and all the information for the special room rate, all that good stuff. Okay, so that's Monday. Tuesday is where the meat and potatoes really kick off. Okay, so we meet at 8 a.m. Like I said, we have a special room inside the Bellagio. I don't want to say it's a meeting room, and it's not really a ballroom. It's kind of like a small ballroom. So we have a great setup. We set it up sort of classroom shaped. Everyone can spread out. Lots of plugs, lots of chargers. This is one of the things we've learned over the years is lots of chargers, okay, or lots of plugs, I should say. So we go 8 to 5. 8 to 9 in the morning, we have breakfast and networking, and then we kick things off. We have a lunch, right around lunchtime, of course, and that's all catered again and included in the price of your ticket with the beautiful Bellagio. So by day one, what I wanted to put on the screen here was what are your takeaways, right? And I'm going to share takeaways from day one and then day two. Day one, we are really kind of setting the foundation. We're focusing on your vision. How do you want your 2026 to look in your life, in your business, but also beyond 2026, right? Where are you at in your business? Where do you want to be in 5 years or beyond? And then how does that look, bringing that down to the next year or two? So by the end of day one, you will have turned your 5-year vision into a clear 12-month action plan. We're going to work on clarifying your voice, your brand, and your values. We're going to be completing a personal SWOT analysis to align your marketing strategy. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys know what a SWOT analysis is? Let me know yes or no if you have you ever heard that term. I am really fired up. This is one of the things Christine is going to be teaching. And I'm just going to look in the chat real quick to see if you guys know what it stands for. I have to admit, I knew what it stood for when we were chatting, and she was like, I got to do a SWOT analysis. I was like, yes, great idea. And then off to the side, I'm secretly Googling, wait, what does that stand for again? So I knew it had to do with goal setting. But if you don't know what it stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I actually did an exercise like this many years ago. I'm excited to do it again because you guys, I have to say, when we have speakers, I'm in the back of the room doing the work too, because I'm there to learn as well. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. And this is such a great opportunity to go through to assess, what are you really good at? What are you not really good at? What are those big opportunities? And what are the things that are threatening your business? Yeah. Okay. A few people said yes. People said no. Strength, weaknesses, obstacles. Yes. Awesome. Yes. Like the SWAT team, right? What is SWAT? Yes. Okay. So it stands for strengths. If you're taking notes, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats. So we're going to go through that to align with your marketing, align with how you want to do business. Like I said, Marguerite's going to be walking you through your 5-year vision. She's got an amazing activity where we're going to talk about, where do you want your life and business to be in 5 years? What are your values? What are things that are important to you, not important to you? This is a hugely meaningful exercise. I'm so excited to have her dig into. So we've got Marguerite talking about sort of your 5-year plan, and Christine talking about your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. And we're bringing all that together along with me teaching you how to map out your 12-month content and social media plan. I'm super excited because I think they all go hand in hand. You know, when I look at what we've done in our business over the last, 12 plus years, it's not just post more on social, create more reels. There's so many other pieces that go to this. And I'm particularly excited for a couple of reasons, whether you are newer to real estate, but honestly, I really think for someone, a lot of you who mentioned in the chat, you've been doing real estate for 20 plus years. I think this is hugely powerful because I don't know about you, we often get stuck doing the same thing. And we get in this mindset of like, well, I've always done it this way. And I don't even think sometimes we mean to, it just happens. We're like, well, I've always done it this way. But I'm excited to kind of challenge you. And I know I've talked to Marguerite and Christine about this separately, this idea of really challenging you to think like, just because I've always done it that way, is that the best way? Or maybe there's a better way, right? We're also going to take some time for live coaching and feedback. And one of the things that a lot of our masterminders in the past have asked for is more time to kind of pick our brains, so to speak, and get some more individualized feedback. So we're going to do a little bit of some small group breakouts where we take our big group of 15 or 20 people and break them out into smaller groups. And myself and our speakers are going to be rotating and really giving you an opportunity to really, like I said, pick our brain and dig specifically into what you're learning and how does that apply to your business. Ultimately, at the end of day one, you're going to walk out of day one into dinner, which I'll talk about in a minute, inspired, focused, and ready to grow, which is what we're super excited about. Christine says, I had to take a call from my dad. Oh, no worries. SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's such a fun exercise. It's incredibly eye-opening. Yes, I can't wait to do it again. I did this exercise, like I said, years ago, and I'm excited to be in the room for sure. Have to pop off. Katie, you can't wait for Las Vegas. Oh, absolutely, Christine. We love you. We're so excited, and so excited to have you there. Stuck? Yeah, stuck, right, Selena? LOL. And then, like I said, catered breakfast and lunch is included. So this is day one. Okay, you're gonna walk away fired up. And then we head into dinner. So dinner, we have a new place that we have selected. This is one of my favorite places in Las Vegas. There's also one in New York. I think they probably have other locations too, but we are going to be hosting, Paul and I are hosting a very special VIP dinner for everybody at Carmine's. Carmine's is an amazing Italian restaurant. It is family style, which is perfect because it's just I absolutely love it. We have a great private room set aside at Carmine's so we can hear each other, we can interact and connect. I always tell our masterminders or encourage our masterminders, hey, sit with somebody different, like whoever you sat next to today at the event in class, sit next to somebody different, right? Rotate, connect, because again, sometimes the best conversations, the thing that you walk away with, maybe is from, sitting next to somebody at dinner. And there's something really cool about saying, oh, I'm working on this and you're working on this and I'm doing this and this is working really well. And you're in two different market areas, but being able to collaborate and also connect, right? Which is really, really kind of cool. So, and if you're someone who enjoys wine, they have some amazing wine. So anyways, it'll be super fun. I can't wait. It's a little early to talk about wine considering it's only, the morning still here in California, but it's just a fantastic time. So lots of fun. Okay, so that's day one. Day two. So day one was all about vision and foundation. Day two is all about execution and visibility. So by the end of day two, you're going to finalize your 12-month content plan. We're going to focus on your themes, what themes you want to have throughout the year in 2026. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Exactly, Annie. Platforms, where do you want to be? Where do you want to not be? I'm a big believer that you don't have to be everywhere, right? So what does that look like? We're going to create a ton of content. So get you on camera, content that you can take away with, whether that's reels, intro videos, tips. We're also going to talk about email marketing. Now, we talked about email marketing last year, but we're going to talk about it again this year. And we're going to specifically talk about really what's working, because a lot of things have actually evolved and changed just in the last 12 months. And I was actually talking to Christine recently about this. Email marketing has become a huge part of my business, as well as a lot of folks that we've worked with. And especially right now with all the changes in the world and social media is rented ground. So having a really smart email strategy, not just to get, not just a blast. We don't want to spam people, but really strategic ways to target specific, all the different things that I've learned over the years with email marketing, but especially honestly in the last probably 12 to 18 months about email marketing. So really excited to dig into that and to help you draft your next campaign. Of course, we're going to talk about repurposing. We're going to do some live repurposing of your content, really focus on how you can work smarter, not harder. And ultimately, you're going to be collaborating with agents who get it, right? Who want to build those long-lasting connections, and leaving confident, creative, and clear on what's next for your brand. So that's 8 to 5. Again, breakfast and lunch are included. And then we head from day two to our closing party, which I'm super excited about. We are doing something different this year. We are hosting our closing party at the Mob Museum, which I am super excited about. It's all about work hard, play hard. That's what I'm a big believer in. So we've got a really cool space set aside for us to enjoy, have some yummy munchies, heavy appetizers, again, whatever beverages of choice you would like to partake in. And then we're going to have a little tour of some of the cool things at the Mob Museum. So I'm super excited. I love stuff like this. And I think it's fun just to be able to do a fun activity as a group. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great places for selfies and content as well, which will be super fun. I love anything mob related. Yes, me too. I'm always so curious. And you guys know Vegas has a long sort of mob history. So I think it'll be fun. Susan says, "Oh, fun. Yes. I know. I'm excited. I'm super excited. It'll be awesome." So let me know if you guys have any questions so far. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes left, but I still have some important stuff to go over with you guys, but I'm excited. I'm super excited. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to put it in the chat here. So again, we've got day one kickoff party, day two, day three, where we dive deep. We've got all of your training speakers. We've got our dinners, our closing party. The dates are let's see if I can go back here. Hold on. Let me see here. 19th, 20th, and 21st. Let's see here. Yes, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Hold on. You know what? Good question. It's so funny. Hold on. Let me double check my dates. Let me double check. Let's just do this. Let's it's actually the 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's so funny. Okay. You guys caught me. Typo. Sorry about that. Okay, November 17th, 18th, and 19th. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So what's so funny is I was creating these slides and I was So, wanted to make sure the images are right. Yeah, missed the dates. Okay, 17th, 18th, 19th. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Um, has the link to the room block already been sent out? No, it has not. It has not yet. It will be soon. So yeah, not yet. Not yet. Okay. And I'm going to pull up the website in just a minute. I will triple check my dates, but thank you for that. So I want to get into pricing and options, and then I do have a special bonus I'm excited for you as well. And I would imagine a lot of you have been on our website. You've probably gone through some of the details. But as I was thinking about our time together and what I wanted to convey, and I realize also that the mastermind's not for everybody. It is a high-end event. It's an investment in money. It's an investment in time. It's time away from your business. But what I want to encourage you, whether you come to our mastermind or whether you invest in yourself in another way, if this is one of my favorite quotes, and I don't know who said this, but if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Right? If not you, then who? And if not now, then when? I think this is such a powerful thing. One of the things that I have been really focused on, I know in my business over the last few years, is picking one or two things every year to invest in myself, to be able to work on the business, not just in the business. And, there's that old phrase of like sharpening the saw. I don't know if you guys ever read way back in the day, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of them was sharpening the saw. I think I read that probably 30 years ago. And it's this idea that you never stop learning, right? I believe in this wholeheartedly. I'm never one of those speakers that just like shows up to an event, does my thing, and then I'm like, I'm out of here. Like, one of my favorite things is coming to an event that I'm speaking at and sitting in the back of the room or sitting backstage and listening to other speakers and learning from other people. I think you can learn from anybody. And I think coming to an event like this with that open mind, and again, being able to invest in yourself, I think is key. And I love this quote. This is a great thing to share if you're sharing anything to social media. If not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Yay, sounds good, Annie. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So as you guys know, when it comes to masterminds, you could spend tens of thousands of dollars, right? You could spend 10, 20, $30,000 on a mastermind. So we're excited to be able to offer all of this. It's something that is not at the 10 or 20, 30,000, $40,000 level. But like I said, it's not for everyone. It's a big investment in time and also money. So let me walk through what the payment options look like. Again, you may have already seen this if you've been on our website, but I have two options for you. Okay, so option number one is you can pay in full. Now our regular price is $6,000, which includes everything that I talked about, the welcome reception, everything that you see on the screen here. However, we wanted to do something special since you're here with us today. So if you sign up by June 1st, you're actually going to save $1,000, and we're going to bring it down to $5,000. So what that includes is, number one, you're going to get a pre-Zoom call with me. So before we even go to Vegas, you're going to spend 30 minutes with me on the phone. I'm going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about your goals. What do you want to achieve? What does your business look like? So that's number one. That also is going to give you access to, of course, our welcome reception, our 2 full 8-hour mastermind days, catered breakfast and lunch, our VIP dinner, our closing party. And the big bonus that I'm so excited to share with you guys, this is something we've never done before, is that we are also, in addition to the event, adding on a 6-month small group ongoing coaching after the mastermind, which I'm really excited about. This is something that I've been wanting to do for years, because I really don't want this to just be one and done, did the work, awesome, peace out, see you next year. I want this to be really a transformational experience for you. So not only is this a ticket to a couple amazing days in Vegas where you're going to map out your plan, get your 5-year strategy mapped out, do everything we talked about, create some content, but you're also going to walk away and be walking into a small group coaching program just for our masterminders. So this is not, if you're part of our other coaching programs, this is not that. This is specifically for you who've attended our mastermind. So it's going to be once a month, about an hour or so once a month, where we can all get on Zoom and collaborate and really get into the nitty gritty. So I'm excited. So that's a value of $1,500. So very, very excited about that. The second option is you can take advantage of our payment plan. So we have a payment plan where you can break it up over 5 months. It's $1,000 today, and then you'll get billed over the next 5 months. So $1,000 each month, and everything is still included, right? The pre-Zoom setup call, the welcome reception, the full mastermind days, catered breakfast and lunch, the VIP dinner, the closing party, and then the bonus 6-month small group coaching after the mastermind. Very, very excited about that. So let me just take a second and talk a little bit about what that coaching looks like. Again, if you sign up by the 1st, you'll save $1,000, and plus you'll get 6 months of that small group coaching. Let me drop the link in the chat here too. So you guys have the links. Let me see if I can put this links in the chat as well. What's the room rate that's offered? So I need to double check. The room rate, I believe, is $249. I gotta double check that. It's either $249 or $279, but it's right in that 2 something range. Let me double check, Selena, and I can get back to you for sure and let you know. But I don't want to quote the wrong thing. And then we can also guarantee the room rate for the day before. So like I said, if you come in a day early and you want to get settled, which a lot of people do, or some people stay a day later. I'll be honest with you. We have a lot of folks last year. We had a lot of folks who stayed a day later just to kind of hunker down in their room and, work on everything that we worked on. So that's an option as well. So as you can see on the screen, it's isn't just 2 incredible days in Vegas, right? When you register by the 1st, you'll get $1,000 in savings, and then again, exclusive access to our private small group coaching program, which again is just for the mastermind. This is something new we're creating, which is exciting. It's going to be monthly 60-minute group sessions, real-time feedback on your content and strategy. I want to be able to go, okay, how's it going? What are you working on? What can we help you with? And really kind of take things to the next level, and ultimately built in accountability, right? Accountability, I think, is the name of the game. Again, spots are limited. We are, only keeping this to 15 to 20 people. So, okay, so what's next? All right, so I do have a QR code on the screen. If you'd like, you can scan that. That'll take you to the payment plan option, or you can go to just KatieLance.com/mastermind if you'd like to pay in full. But as far as next steps, if this all sounds good and you're like, yes, I want to be in the room where it happens, we would love to have you there. We would absolutely love to have you there, to work with you in person, to walk you through and to take you to that next level. And again, whether you've been to our masterminds before, I can tell you that if you've been here before, there's going to be certain things that we are doing again that you know and love, like mapping out your plan, like the collaboration, like having some amazing speakers. But we're also excited to really infuse a lot of new stuff into our program as well. Again, specifically really digging into not just marketing and social media, but your business and all the aspects of your business, goal planning, branding, and then touching on things that I think are super important. Like I said, especially email marketing. How do we build your database? How do we build something in a world where everything's changing? The market's changing, the economy's changing, but what can you control? You control how you show up. You control what you do in your business. And we're excited to walk side by side with you. So that's number 1, is get signed up. Once you get signed up, we'll email you, and we're going to be sending out the room link fairly soon, probably in the next few weeks. So you'll get that from us, and I will double check what that room rate is. And then I will email you, and we'll get your call scheduled. So you can do your call anytime. If you want to do it in the next couple of weeks, that's fine. If you want to do it closer to the event, we can do that as well. And we'll get your pre-Zoom call set up as well. Okay. Let me know what questions you guys have. I'm going to look at the chat here, and then I'm going to open up the website just to triple check my dates here for you as well. Bruce says, okay, so to reiterate, the 5,000 covers the event and the food, not the room. Exactly. Yes. So it covers all the food. Again, you will not go hungry, and the events, dinners and everything, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You need to cover the room. So yes, you'll be responsible for the room, and then any travel related to that. Yep. Good question. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to open up the website also, so you guys can take a peek at this. And I would encourage you, if you are thinking about it, you're on the fence, I'm also happy to chat with you if you want to, chat privately and just, if you have any specific questions. Let me drop this link in the chat here. But when you go to KatieLance.com/mastermind, when you scroll through, you'll see there's Vegas right there. And then we'll scroll through. And yes, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Those are my dates. 17th, 18th, and 19th. So 17th is that Monday. That is the, again, day where we have our welcome reception. You can fly in that day or the day before. And then 18th, 19th are those full mastermind days. We go 8 to 5 with our catered breakfast and lunch. That's where we have our speakers. And then we have our VIP dinner on Tuesday, and then our closing party on Wednesday night. Now, if you have to fly out Wednesday and you miss the party, we understand, but it's always fun if you could stay for the closing party. And then as you scroll through, you'll see everything we talked about here today. So if you want to kind of absorb everything, these are sort of the logistics of everything that's included: the pre-event Zoom call, the welcome reception, cater breakfast and lunch, dinner, closing reception, the full mastermind days, just everything that's included. And then you'll see information about the bonus for 2025. There's also a video here. I encourage you to watch this. This will give you a little sneak peek to show you kind of the vibe of what the event is all about. And as you scroll down, you can see some additional information here. This is what I wrote on the page here. In the midst of so much change in social media, this is what I know to be true. Authenticity wins. Showing up as your best self wins. Creating a smart strategy always wins. And that's really the name of the game. And, if you're someone who maybe you had a strategy at one point and you kind of fell off the rails, or you haven't quite had a strategy where you want to be, my goal is to really help you create the best strategy for you and your business, whatever that might look like. And I think I just think it's so important. It's about providing the space, as I have on here, continue to provide the space that our attendees have loved in the past, collaborate, connect, and get that hands-on help as well. And I think back to when we first started doing this back in 2018, again, when it comes to social media and content and everything we're talking about, there's just something really powerful about being in that room, in that hands-on environment, where, again, you're out of offices on and you're in the room and you're making it happen. And we're excited about that. So collaborating, creating a systematic plan. Like I mentioned in the beginning, one of the other things that makes this really unique is there's no sponsors. So there's nobody pitching you. There's nobody selling anything in the back of the room. There's nobody selling anything who is speaking, in front of you. And that's something that's really important as well to us. I have on the screen also the day 1 and day 2, those details I talked about. I have them in my slides, but they're also here. So you can take a peek at that. Just looking at the chat here as well. Scroll through. And then we've got on the page here just some additional videos as well. So if you're curious about what anyone has to say, let me see here if I can play one of them really quick. I'm going to play just one quick clip. Let's see. Let me see if I can play Annie's. Annie was just with us. I think she stepped out. She's doing some double duty here. Let me see if I can play this. Can you guys hear that? Let me know in the chat really quick, yes or no, if you can hear that. I'll hit play again. Okay, she says no audio. Well, darn. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me click the right button. Let's try it one more time.
Do it.
Hold on. Technical difficulties. One moment, please. All right, let me try one more time. I'm just going to play a clip of this real fast. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's try one more time. Let's see.
Do it. Just do it. I cannot tell you. I have wanted to do it for about 3 years. I finally just pulled the trigger, and I am so glad that I did. The entire time was filled with a ton of...
Okay, I don't know if that's coming through or not, but thank you, Susan. I can see that. Do it. Invest in yourself. Find a way. Don't let the cost get in your way. You won't be disappointed. I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure. It does make a big difference. Yeah, investing time, money in yourself. It's hugely important for sure. Here's another great example. This is from Linda. Linda Gill has attended many of our masterminds. She's out in Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Linda Gill with Hawaii Life on the beautiful island of Kauai on the South Shore, Poipu Beach. This is the 3rd time that I've been to Katie Lance's mastermind, and the reason why I keep coming back is because they keep getting better. Katie gave us all a formula on how to break down every month, and then in that month, break down the videos. It just totally clicked for me this year. My favorite part was Christine George, and she had these cards which had personality types, and we would put them in yes, no, and maybe piles, and then we just kept narrowing it down until we got down to...
Okay, I'll push pause for a second, but you guys can take a peek at some of the videos there. She's talking about one of the activities that Christine did. We love to do some hands-on activities, whether it's cards or workbooks or post-it notes or worksheets. Like, there's just something about being hands-on, or if you're digital, it might be, some of the digital tools that we have. So anyways, take a look at the landing page here. We just updated this with our speaker information as far as Christine and Marguerite, and then there's some frequently asked questions here. And then you can see at the bottom, again, the special pricing is just through the 1st. So if you've been on the fence and you've been thinking, okay, I really want to go this year, get signed up before June 1st. Kick off the second part of your 2025, knowing that you've got this to look forward to. Like I said, you'll save $1,000, and then also it'll guarantee you a spot for our small group coaching. So as you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the 2 options. Again, you can pay in full. If you click pay in full, it'll take you to this page, which shows you everything included. You'll see how it's the regular price of $6,000. It's $1,000 off, so that's $5,000. I'll drop this link in the chat so you guys have that. And then you can scroll through and see everything that's included. And then just some success stories from some of the folks we've worked with in the past. And then in terms of a payment plan, here is the link to the payment plan. So again, if you'd rather do a payment plan, you can pay for it $1,000 today, and then you'll just get billed over the next 5 months. So we'll drop that in the chat there. All right, awesome. We have basically come to almost the end here. Look at that, I'm pretty good, right at the hour mark. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Let me know what questions you guys have. Was this helpful to sit through this today? Hopefully it was. Like I said, the goal of today was just to kind of take you behind the scenes and share with you the backstory of why we do this. As I said in the beginning, there's no shortage of real estate events. And my husband and I, Paul and I, we really wanted to create something that was different, that was meaningful, that was really transformational in a lot of ways. And I'm excited to be able to create this, not just a one and done, but really a mastermind group that continues on beyond just the 3 days that we spend in Vegas. So again, your ticket includes everything we talked about, all your meals, welcome reception, closing party, amazing, like I said, amazing food. You will not go hungry from the Bellagio, our full mastermind days, everything we talked about. And then also, in addition, our new bonus, which is our continued 6 months of small group coaching hosted by me after the event. So excited to do that. Excited to have a really great structured way we can follow up and connect and hold you accountable and continue to build those relationships and continue the learning, which is something I'm really, really excited about. So yes, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Very, very excited. And like I said, the coaching is different than other coaching I've done. A lot of you, I know Beth's gone through some of our coaching programs. So this is a different coaching catered specifically for folks who attended the mastermind also. Alrighty, well, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, I can see a number of you already signed up, which is awesome. Those of you who signed up, we will be reaching out to you to chat with you about room rates and figure out when you're going to fly in and all that good stuff. But it's going to be fun. If you have more questions, feel free to email me. I'm going to drop my email in the chat, katie@katielance.com. Mark your calendar, November 17th, 18th, and 19th. And the last thing I'll say, one of the things I actually started saying at the mastermind years ago, and I will continue to say it, is done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. You guys know I've said this for years. And I'm looking on my desk because I have a little sign somewhere on my desk. I think it got hidden though. I need to find it. I have a little sign on my desk that says done is better than perfect. And the origin of that, I honestly started at one of our masterminds, because it's really easy to come to any event, any webinar, any conference and feel excited, but also like, oh my gosh, I got to do all the things. And so I always encourage people in our academy, but especially in our mastermind, hey, done is better than perfect. Take a few things, implement them immediately. And I have to say, one of the big things that we do at the mastermind is to really push you outside of your comfort zone. If you're the kind of person that's like, well, I got to take my time and really map this out. And if you have fallen prey to sort of waiting till everything is perfect, then the mastermind is for you, because we're going to push you. We're going to push you to get more done in a consolidated amount of time than you probably have ever gotten done. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. So we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. I can't wait to see you in November. I hope you get signed up. Again, space is limited. Once we're sold out, we're sold out. So now's the time to get signed up. Take advantage of the payment plan if that's an option for you, if you'd like to take advantage of that. And then just email me if you have any other questions. All right, my friends, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being with me today. We will be sending out the replay later today. I'm just going to see who is still with us on our call. We got Beth here, Colleen, Diane, Francesco's here. Awesome. Madison, good to see you. Ruthie Allbrand, my dear friend Ruth. Ruth has come to, I believe, every single one of our masterminds since we started. Ruth is an amazing, just human, professional person, friend, real estate professional, technology guru, social media train. She's amazing. And she's also I know she's also gonna be at the mastermind. She resides in Vegas. So good to see you here, my friend. Susan, of course, Tanya, good to see you guys. Oh, we love you, Ruth. We love you. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Have a great day. Get signed up. Don't miss out. It's gonna be so much fun. Colleen says, thanks. I'd love to bring my young kids on our team. One of them is my 28-year-old son. Absolutely. And yes, if you want to bring your assistant, your business partner, your young kid who's on your team, just message me and I can let you know what that would look like in terms of rates and all that good stuff. So yes, I appreciate that you mentioned that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Email me if you have any questions. Get signed up. Space is limited. Those of you who already signed up, we will be reaching out to you to talk about next steps. All right, have a great day. I can't wait to see you, and I hope to see you in Vegas. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye for now.